friends? This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I'm sure you guys are, like me, just as excited for the latest login character that was just announced today or yesterday, depending on when you're watching this, and that is the Royal Guard. What? The Royal Guard sucks? And he's sucked for a while? How long? No. Two years? Okay, so maybe you're not excited for the Royal Guard, but maybe you should be excited for what the Royal Guard means for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, I'm going to throw out some very, very wild accusations and maybe a few premonitions, some prognostications, as my friends over at the Escape Podcast are known to say. Now, to really understand why they're giving us the Royal Guard, we got to kind of look at what the Royal Guard is. And first and foremost, I think we can all agree the Royal Guard sucks. I mean, he's one of those characters that's, if you're in Galactic Arena Championship, you're in GAC, and you've been struggling and you're on your 6th attack and you've got him whittled down to like 2 people or 1 person, yeah, the Royal Guard, that one stun ability, it's nice. But really, in all fairness, since he's such an early game character, he's someone who hasn't had a rework, and rightfully so. There's no real reason to rework Royal Guard unless, I don't know, Palpatine all of a sudden becomes viable or important in Star Wars canon. And I'm kind of wondering, oh yeah, he's going to be in Episode 9. And so part of me feels like the Royal Guard is going to be needed soon. Now, here is the major caveat here, guys. They have a tendency to introduce stuff weeks and or months before they're actually needed. And I think the Royal Guard as a login character is getting us to preparing us for the fact that we are going to need him for after Christmas. Now, I don't think that we'll need him before Christmas. There's a ton of stuff coming out for Episode 9, or theoretically, there's a ton of stuff coming out for Episode 9. But my thought is the Royal Guard will be needed probably first quarter of next year, 2020. That being said, who knows why? I mean, I've got a few ideas. One, you've got freaking a new Palpatine, which does make sense. You have the Palpatine we have now. You have potentially other Palpatines that could come up. You could have a Palpatine from Episode 9, especially if we see flashbacks of Palpatine kind of doing what he does, being whatever. And that's why I'm thinking 2020, first part of 2020, because we won't see anything Force ability wise from a new Palpatine until they've actually launched the movie. Makes sense. But the Royal Guard could be the introduction of kind of a hint at the needing of a powerful figure needing guards, i.e. a Snoke's guard, the Praetorian Guard, with a Snoke character. Now, with Episode 8 not having much of anything, it's interesting that we never got a Snoke. I mean, we don't have a lot of Episode 8 characters. We don't have a lot of Episode 8 playable characters. But Snoke's a major player in this. Snoke is like the baddie in Episodes 7 and 8 until he gets, sliced in half like a giant wiener. And I gotta say, like, it's shocking that he's not in the game. And because he's not in the game, like, when they introduced all of the stuff from Episode 8, I remember people like, why aren't we getting the Praetorian Guards? It doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of possibility there. This could be signaling that, hey, that's something that's coming. And it would make sense to have those characters as a marquee event, and then, whatever, we get Snoke as a legendary event, or Giant Whales get Snoke as a legendary event sometime, December, November-ish. Looking at some of the other functions, we could get a Senator Palpatine / Sidious, right? Now, we have Sidious, we have Palpatine, we don't have a Senator Palpatine. We could get a Galactic Republic Sith character, which would be really freaking cool. Because if you think about it, when was the last time that you saw the Senate Guards in the prequels, right? And it was right about the time that we saw Yoda taking on the freaking Emperor, the Grand Poobah, Big Papa Palps. And it makes sense that this could be the introduction of that character, a Senator Palpatine. We have Amidala. Why not Palpatine? He was huge, a huge focus in Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and obviously the major villain apparently throughout the entire series. What do you think? I think it's very possible that we could see that. In all fairness, this is speculation. It could mean nothing. It could be like, hey, we don't have anyone else. But if you look back over time, every character, with very few exceptions, who has shown up as a monthly login character has played some role in the future of this game. Now, they say that they're moving away from Star Wars, the Clone Wars, that it looks like after the events of the Geonosian Lightside Territory battle, we will see other things. Now, I'm fully believing that we are going to be getting First Order Resistance style characters with maybe a couple of other things. And so why introduce a Royal Guard at this junction? It doesn't make a lot of sense unless it's preparing us for something at the start of the next year. These are just my thoughts, and I could be wildly inaccurate, but based on what we've seen before, based on the C-3PO, based on General Grievous, based on Chewbacca, everything there all kind of leads to, hey, skip a month, skip 2 months, and then all of a sudden there's more information, there's more stuff based on this one random thing that looked random at the time, even though it's not now. What do you guys think? But before I go, guys, I want to say there's been some breaking news, and that is that they are going to introduce yet another fighterless, pilotless fighter jet, plane, ship, whatever you want to call it. They are calling it that can't be right. The Hyena Bomber, which, if you guys remember Star Wars Rebels, was a bomber, but instead of dropping bombs, it dropped hyenas. It's not? Okay, so it is different. It is essentially a starfighter. It looks very much like the Vulture droids, but beefier, stronger, it's just wider and denser, I guess. This is going to take the form of a tank that also does a series of damage. So the way that I'm looking at this is the separatist version of Fives' ship, right? The Umbaran starfighter. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. We are going to be getting this ship on November 1st as a galactic chase for the ships. You're going to be able to find that on Cantina nodes. So be prepared. If you're farming anything in Cantina, hopefully this will benefit that. So leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. As I mentioned earlier, check out the links in the section below, and you can subscribe to Audible. It's free Audible for 2 months. For 1 month, 2 books. You leave after a month, you pay nothing, but you help out the channel. New books are coming, guys, and I'm going to be reviewing some of them. Very excited. Like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.